See, I started doing direct entry approach a decade back. At that time, the only instrumentation available was DePuy, but the instrumentation was not that readily available. So there came a DGO instrumentation where you can adjust that DePuy broach handle in that. Then we first actually started with DGO on two cases, then we shifted to Bibron, DePuy, Striker, Max. Currently I'm doing Max Mariel most of the cases, but I don't have any financial conflict interest with them. But there is a disclaimer to make. It's not a new approach, and me, Suprit, Rohit Saab, we are not here to sell DA. We are just here to teach DA, learn DA from our colleagues and discuss about it. So the topic I was given was patient selection, anatomy, positioning in OR setup. Rather, I want to go in the reverse way. This is my OT setup. Okay, I have one CM. Usually for all the cases, a CM is good. I used to have all those instrumentation sets 1 to 10. But nowadays, even with 4 instrumentation set, especially the retractors, 2 special retractors and 1 broach handle and 1 offset trimmer, that is enough for me. Patient positioning, since I am doing in a normal table nowadays, I started with Tana table, fracture table, and now ended up with the ordinary table. With provision of breakage at the level of ASF is there, that would be a better option. So the anatomy, yes, we are going from the front. It's between the TFL and the rectus femoris in the superficially, and down you go from the gluteus minimus and the iliocapsularis. So coming for the anatomy, we are talking about direct anterior approach. This is the anterior capsule. You want to put the retractors at these 3 places. So this is your working space. This working space is not that simple because it is surrounded by all those muscles which you are not allowed to injure during the direct anterior approach. Eventually in that working space, you have to cut the capsule and put your retractors and put both the components inside. Remember, in the beginning, DA will take time. You will get frustrated and you want to switch back to your previous approach. But nevertheless, surgical learning is an art. Proper patient selection can help early success and confidence building in all the cases. Remember, we are in Pune Arthroplasty Course. Patient selection, 5 major criteria: pelvic morphology, ASA grade, clinical examination, body mass, and the hip pathology. Let's go one by one. Pelvic morphology. Both the x-rays, both the arthritic right hip, the right one you can see, the left one you can see, one on your right, on your left and on the right. This is of a valgus neck, that is of a varus neck. Draw 3 points: AIIS, midpoint of the intertrochanteric ridge, and the midpoint of the acetabular margin. Draw a triangle. Similarly, draw a triangle on the other side. You can see the area and this hip and that hip. Larger the area, greater the working space. If you have a larger area, you will get a good working space. Not only this, you have a valgus neck. That is also a valgus neck. If you have a long valgus neck, you will have a good working area. So first selection, long valgus neck. And come to the pelvic anatomy. You can see the iliac diameter and the ischial. Measure the iliac difference and the ischial difference. If this is more than 3:1, it would be an easier one for the femoral preparation. If you don't want to calculate this, just draw a line along the femoral canal. If it is not touching the iliac blade, that means your femoral broaching trajectory will be an easier one. If it is touching the iliac blade, it will make little difficult during your femoral exposure. So, choice of the patient: 1, patient with long valgus neck with ilium ischium ratio more than 3:1. Why? Because you will get more working space, more and the capsule will require a minimal release. Second, as I told you earlier, first case, expect longer time, but not in a patient who is comorbid. It has been proven that patients with more than 3 comorbidities, not only for DA, for any surgeries also, it will get higher risk. But if you want to choose in the beginning, try to get a patient who has got ASA grade at least A1 or 2. So ASA grade 1 or 2 and hemoglobin at least above 12, because in the initial cases the bleeding is going to be there. We have tried ligating the anterior vessels, coagulating, again the ligated vessels used to get off, all those things. And I will be frank here. In the initial cases, the blood loss in my cases I traced up to 900 ml. 900 ml in a single hip cases, in the beginning cases. Third, clinical examination. This was the case where I was trying to get the video at the beginning of days. I was thinking that I am erasing this bloody field. I was erasing the iliocapsularis muscle. I thought I am erasing the iliocapsularis, but it was not true. Again, suddenly I found that I was in the trochanteric region only because the range of motion was not that good. Once I went into the iliocapsula, underneath this, after removing the hip, it was far medial. It was far medial. So, if you have a good range of motion, mobile hip with passive range of motion good, it will help to locate the capsule before arthrotomy, and obviously with less contracted capsule, the release is going to be easier to you. Fourth criteria, body mass. Yes, all those American surgeons or UK surgeons who claim that the bulky patients are rather easier. Yes, we also believe that because the fat is distributed more laterally and posteriorly. It's easier to do a direct anterior approach in those patients. But if the patient has a big abdomen, it will come into the wound site, and that causes infection or say the wound healing problem in the later stages. So, fourth choice, patients with low body mass index. Why? Because you can palpate the TFL. It's a less chance of getting it wrong into this arteries, going to more medially. There will be easy access to the anterior joint capsule and easy placement of the retractors as well. And of course, the less wound complications. So, it has been proven that male gender with short varus neck, with protrusio or say complex hip, they are the predictors for difficult femoral preparation in direct anterior approach. So, for the beginners, for the initial cases, try to get out of this. Fifth and the last one, hip pathology. Of course, if you have a simple hip, it will be easier. Not simple, all hips are, I won't say anything is simple or, but if you have an avian type of hip, where you full range of motion of a valgus neck, and the releases will become easier, that I think that patients would be a better ideal patients to start with. So, preferably a patient with either primary OA, which is very rare in our cases, basically avian with good passive range of motion, that would be okay. But it is very difficult to find an ideal patient. See, you want female patient, you want valgus neck, you want full range of motions. So, to start with, I can say, this is one which is given by the Dr. Lee Rubin's book. If you have a low BMI patient with a long valgus neck, at least these two, it will be easier for you. Slowly you can increase the BMI of the patient, still being in the long valgus neck, low BMI, then short varus neck, and then gradually increasing the complex cases, you can go up to the revisions. Last year, I think in the January only, during the ROC meet, we were in the same room, I think we were discussing the fracture neck of femur should not be the first case to start with. Yes, because our patients are more osteoporotic. But remember, fracture neck of femur are also the good patients to start with if the bone quality is good, if your preparation is good. Because the capsule is so patulous that you don't have to do more releases. The mobilization, femoral mobilization becomes very easier. So, we started from fracture neck of femur and ended up in the revision cases at the end. These are my own series of 200 cases, started with fracture neck of femur, ended up in the complex cases. Yes, in early cases, expect a longer time and potentially increased blood loss. During the first 25 to 30 cases, see for me it was around 15 to 16 cases, but as for the literature, or actually in the ideal setup, you can do that, but if you are good, spend your time in patient selection, anatomy, table selection, and knowledge of the instrumentations. Despite this also, you may have difficulty in continuing it, but this will not go and take. At the end, you can do all the complex cases within the direct anterior approach. As I told you, the blood loss, even the bilateral cases, definitely there will be a very good outcome after getting with the direct anterior approach. So, to summarize, recognizing the difficult cases rather than selecting the case, if you find that it is going to be difficult during the surgery, rather be away from those cases with long valgusness, low body mass, and mobile joints. These are the ideal cases to start with. If you have to go through this book, I think this may be the Bhagavad Gita for direct entry approach now. The second edition is out there. We have contributed a chapter regarding the Indian experience. If you can't go into that also, there is one book by Dr. K. Iyer, where we can find lot of pictures, step by step. I think around 100 plus pictures in this chapter. You can go through it and learn it. Rest you can discuss at any time. I'd like to thank you for your kind attention.